a pond, a pool, and a shower. Those are just some of the settings in the life story of Montreal artist Victoria Wonnacott. The painter depicts these places to tell her story during a chapter of her life that's anything but dry. For most people, this looks like a guy in a shower. But for painter Victoria Wonnacott, this is art. The scene drips with ideas for paintings.
Well, he's an inspiring man to begin with.
But the man himself isn't the focus of this painting.
Water is my journey. We're born into water. It's fluid. It transports us. It takes us to different places.
Water first flowed in Wonnacott's art in 1993 in a painting series called The Landscape of Need. The pictures showcase our fundamental needs,
such as air, food, water, and love.
From her love of swimming sprang more paintings.
I am a Pisces. Maybe that is a reason for my affinity to water.
Her paintings of swimmers emerge from photographs she takes and images from instructional swimming books.
I have made a painting called Pond Swim 3. The photo reference for this painting was from a book by the Red Cross on swimming and diving. So this is an image of a swimmer swimming underwater. The environment is ambiguous. She could be on the moon. Nonetheless, we know she is an explorer. The figure underwater is weightless, and there's a different depiction of the movement of the body underwater that is fascinating and revealing. We could have that no other than underwater or in space.
The artist doesn't depict competition. She portrays water as a peaceful place.
Water is a symbol for many things for me. Water symbolizes a comfort zone. It satisfies our thirst. It could be our thirst for life, freedom, exploration, salvation, consolation, growth, and change.
A flood of change confronted Wonnacott with the sale of this body of water, a pond her father used to own in the eastern townships of Quebec.
The pond was my watering hole. I loved swimming there. It gave me such joy, sense of peace, wildlife, birds, insects, frogs, tadpoles, just a little paradise for a swimmer. I did paint the raft, a series. It was a singular image, repeated over and over again. I just executed it in different ways. Well, the raft is a bit sentimental because I have watched my girlfriend's children learn to swim, and their goal was to reach the raft. The raft was our salvation in that pond.
The peaceful pond was a resting place for the artist's mother.
We spread her ashes around the pond, and that was a place where I could commune with her.
Wonnacott's family sold the property in 2008, something the artist wished hadn't happened.
This has been one of the greatest losses in my life.
She camped at the pond for 2 days before leaving the property forever.
It was a bit of a ritual communion and goodbye to that place where my mother was buried. Though I did collect earth from around the pond. I walked the pond and collected earth from every 20 feet. It was there that we spread her ashes. So in one sense, I was recollecting her. So I have reinterred my mother and have brought her to her hometown and have reburied her in the cemetery there.
Her dampened spirits linger, despite her souvenir paintings of the property.
I don't think they'll bring me as much joy or comfort as I would have being there.
But the artist does have a happy ending. That's the title of this painting.
I see it as a fairy tale ending to a love story between two underwater acrobats. We don't know the story, but we do know it has a happy ending. This was my last underwater painting.
She may have ended her underwater series, but her subjects are still soaking. A different series of paintings flowed from an everyday chat with her husband.
Fortunately, my husband lets me into the bathroom when he's showering, and we have conversations then.
I usually have a shower after work, and so I come home and tell her what I did today, or she tells me what she did.
It's during these conversations that I get to watch him. It's a bit of a peep show.
But one day, the painter witnessed something that got her creative juices flowing.
The water droplets coming down the shower curtain sort of were magic, really beautiful.
She was mostly fascinated, I think, with not me being in the shower, but the water on the shower curtain, and that's, I think, what made her get out the camera and start taking pictures.
The water's great in the shower. It runs down the curtain rhythmically. It reflects the color of Michael inside. It was a beautiful veil over my husband's body, and it was mysterious. He's let me take photographs, which is great, and I've made paintings from those photographs, and he continues to let me in.
It seems to be something that I can do to help her out with her work, and it just comes naturally, I guess. You work with what's around you and what you see, and we're together a lot.
When Wonnacott turns an after-work shower into a photo shoot, sometimes her husband Michael gets a little cleaner than he expected to.
The hot water ran out once, and that was the longest time. She asked me to stay in.
Wonnacott has also photographed a female figure.
My daughter, the only other one that'll let me into the shower.
The artist calls each shower painting a technical challenge.
The first part of this process of painting these droplet paintings is to make a picture of the figure. That has to be rendered three-dimensionally. So after the underpainting's made, I have to rain down on the surface with little droplets of paint. So I'm literally doing two paintings at once.
In some compositions, the water droplets carry more weight than the figure.
Water droplets are inherently beautiful. They have a transient form, they carry color, they create rhythms, and give us a sense of comfort. Water droplets are a common experience. We can see it in the shower, we can see it on our windshields or on our window when it's raining, and still it's a beautiful thing, and we can all share in that experience.
Wonnacott can cover a surface with thousands of painted droplets.
I can't wait to get the first pass. I have to pass over the surface of the canvas a couple of times, first to map out the water droplets, and then I can go back and highlight them and shadow them. It takes a long time.
The artist can spend 3 weeks just painting droplets on one canvas.
It's tedious, it's enjoyable, it's compulsive. So it's a mixture of things. I'm happy when I'm done.
To create the droplets, she doesn't always use paint. She covers some canvases with epoxy resin, a hard, transparent substance.
You can see it, feel it. It's a very sensual surface. You can hear it when you run your fingers over it, and it's quite beautiful because it is reflective like water.
Her husband's not too reflective about appearing in his wife's paintings.
I can't say that I particularly like being in the paintings, but it's not that I dislike being in them.
So it's very generous of him to be so willing to participate and cooperate with me. I guess perhaps it makes me that much closer to what I'm doing because he is my husband and my model.
I think some of the paintings that she's done with me in them are very beautiful, and some of her nicest work, but not because I'm in them.
The joy of painting for me is making something beautiful. With painting the droplets, when the painting's finished, it's like having a handful of jewels. You know, every painting that I make, I think I'm trying to resolve some question about life. It seems to be that important to me while I'm making it. I do have a little story that will go on for the rest of my life. So this is just one chapter in my journey, and that's with water. My water chapter.
The artist's husband, Michael, works as a cabinet maker and picture framer and enjoys framing his wife's pieces. To learn more about Victoria Wonnacott, her website is vicwon.com.